everybody, and welcome to another Cousins Outdoors episode. Hopefully, Briar named this video The Story of a Buck Named Krabby, or A Buck Named Krabby, or something along those lines, because that's exactly what this is. It's a story of a deer that we got pictures of in 2017. We had an encounter with him in 2017, pictures of him in 2018, and ended up finally putting finishing touches on him in 2019. And we're going to get to all that, but first we got to go all the way back to August 3rd, 2017. We got our first picture of him. I got my first picture of him. He came out in with a bachelor group, a couple different bucks with him. Well, when I first got his picture, he had those, he was, a little 8-pointer, two little points out on the end of his beams, almost looked like crab claws, so I nicknamed him Krabby. And later in the video, you'll understand why that kind of has a double connotation to it. So, Krabby was a deer that, at that time, I was certainly willing to take him. This is out to his ears, a good 8-pointer, a deer that I was more than happy with taking, and we put him on the hit list that year. We had a couple other bucks. 2017 we were after, but on November 6th of 2017, he came out into a soybean field, and he had busted off a G3 on one side. I believe it was his right side, if I'm not mistaken, and comes out into a bean field, and I got the camera on him, and we're getting ready to take him, and he's kind of coming in, quartered to me a little bit yet, getting the camera on him. He's coming in 20 yards. He's still coming. I got to get drawn on him yet, so I started to draw, and he kind of saw me. So I had to wait for him to start walking again. And when he did, then I finally drew, and I had to stop him to keep him in the frame of the camera. I figured he was about 18 yards. I put the 20-yard pin on him, and it was a real quiet night. And from me stopping him, he already kind of knew something was up. You can see on the video, as soon as I let that arrow go, he dropped a little bit, and he was quartering away. When I stopped, it looked like he kind of turned just a little bit to make it even more quartering to me. So the shot, I learned that day that they got to be broadside or quartering away. But to get back to the story, I let the arrow go, and it hit him really high, struck him really high, right in the shoulder blade, and we ended up tracking him about 65 yards. We found the arrow where he had stopped, and he must have pulled out the arrow. The broadhead and the insert were not with the arrow, so it's either stuck in him, or it fell off when he pulled it out, or it fell out, or something. But all we found was the arrow. It had a little bit of blood on it from the blood running down the arrow. And then way up by where the insert and the broadhead would be, it was all splintered, and we figured it was from that broadhead hitting something so hard, which obviously we were able to review the footage, and we figured it was a shoulder blade that it hit, which splintered the arrow. Never found the broadhead, never found him. We looked all the next day. We got permission from 2 of the neighbors to not only grid search our farm, but then to go ahead and grid search theirs as well. They were gracious enough to give us permission to do that. We didn't come up with nothing, didn't come up with no more blood. It was real, it was terrible. It sucks, when you hit one and you don't find them. But that was all the encounters I had with him in 2017, and that was on the 6th of November, that encounter. So we kept running the cameras, kept doing whatever we got to do, trying to get our eyes on this deer, see if he is alive. And sure thing, a couple weeks later, we get his picture with a big old gash on his shoulder, way up by his back on his shoulder blade. You know, so we know that he's still alive. He's still moving around, hoping that it doesn't get infected, hoping he can make it to one more year. I know the last pictures I got of him were on December 13th, 2017, and I don't remember how long I ran cameras for, but usually I pull them right around Christmas. So, you know, we know that he made it through the gun season. He's alive. All we can do now is, you know, keep our eye out for him the next year. So now in 2018, I get pictures of him in the same area. That soybean field is now a cornfield. So I got the camera inside the woods, maybe 20 yards, and I get his picture August 17th, 2018. I get first pictures of him. And he's, you know, his right side isn't as screwed up as we thought it would be with that hit, you know, because if you hit him on the front half of the body, on the right side, the right antler is going to be screwed up. If you hit him in the back half of the body, on the left side, their right side will be screwed up because those veins that run way to the back cross. So August 17th, 2018, we get pictures of him, and I didn't get a whole lot of pictures of him throughout the summer and the early season, but late season, I got a lot of pictures of him. Well, a few pictures early December, a lot of pictures mid-December in that cut cornfield and in and around there, and I believe the last picture that I got of him, December 22nd. So, you know, now we got 2 years where he's showing up in August, and, you know, he's staying right with us through the rut, and he's a homeboy. I mean, he didn't go extremely far, and like I said, into December, we're still getting his pictures. So now, you know, we got 2 years of pictures of this guy. You know, that first year I put him at 2.5 years old. 2018 would make him 3.5. Well, now we're going into the 2019 season, and this deer is what I believe is going to be a 4.5-year-old whitetail. So he's for sure on the hit list for this this next year in 2019. 2019 rolls around, and the field that I hunt over is a soybean field again. So I feel like I'm in the game. I get a lot of blurry pictures. I don't know if deer were moving or I was having issues with cameras or what. But I get a lot of blurry pictures of 8-pointers. Nice deer. A deer that we think could be him. We're not really sure. I didn't get a good enough picture to, you know, pinpoint and say, yeah, that's him, until, well, at all, to be honest. I didn't get a single good picture of him. Briar's got a few. I think a few early season. We believe we came up with the, I don't know what you want to say, conclusion that this deer moved from the south end of the farm to where his home core was. He shifted it about a quarter mile to the north, and that's where he really was living. That was his core area. Tyler had a couple run-ins with him, bumped him a time or two. We believe it was him. And then, of course, he was fortunate enough to take him opening day of the gun season, which was November 23rd. He was able to put the finishing touches on a great deer, a deer that we ended up green scoring just roughly 112 inches, a deer that we fully believe is 4.5 years old. When we were skinning him out, we didn't find an arrow, a broadhead lodged in his shoulder blade like I had hoped. However, on that right side, on that shoulder blade, there is a pretty clear mark, and we should have got video of it. I don't know why we didn't. But it was kind of tough to see, but you could see it. You could make out where an arrow had hit it at one point, and you know, you could compare both shoulder blades, the right one and the left one, and the left one's just a clean bone, and then the right one had that little I don't know what you want to call it. You know, not really an indent or a pigmentation, but some sort of scar there that, you know, something had hammered it home there at one point. I believe that was my broadhead from the 2017 season. But that's about all that I have of Krabby. you know, a cool deer, really good looking deer. Really glad Tyler was able to put the finishing touches on him. He had a hard season, rough season. You know how us bow hunters, we got it rough, man. It's tough. It's tough to make it happen, and then he gets to go out there with a gun and seal the deal. So congratulations, Tyler, and I guess I'm just gonna let him take the story from here.
Thanks, Bud, for all the kind words. Greatly appreciate it. I can't believe 2 years after he shot this deer, I had the opportunity to shoot this thing. Such a beautiful animal. I can't believe it. It's just amazing. I want to thank my wife for even letting me have this opportunity right now to shoot this deer. As most of you know, I work 6 days a week, and I never have opening day off, and my wife works every other Saturday, and wouldn't you know it, opening day gun season, she has to work Saturday. So even before gun season, I was like, well, I'm probably not going to be able to hunt, whatever. So 3 days before gun season, I was like, it pretty much was like a dog walking around with his tail between his legs. Because I slowly, walked up to her and I was like, I know I have to drive past the babysitter on my way to work, but can you drive 30 minutes out of your way to work so I can have an opportunity to hunt? Because we've been seeing a couple big deer, and I haven't hunted in 9 years, and I would just love the opportunity to hunt. And honestly, wouldn't you know it, she actually said yes. I don't know how or why, but she actually said yes to that. So thank you, babe, for even letting me have this awesome opportunity to get this deer. I only had like a 30-minute window to even get this deer because I had to work. I had to leave the woods at 7. Shooting light was at 6:26, and this buck just came on in at 6:24 right away in the morning. I could see him coming in. He was about 120 yards away. I looked at my phone and I'm like, God, there's 2 minutes until shooting lights. I'm sure he'll come my way. He worked his way to about, 70, 60 yards away. I looked at my phone. Okay, it was 6:27, 1 minute after shooting light. I was like, good, I'm going to look through my scope. If I see him, I'm going to shoot him. Sure enough, looked up. I could see him through the trees, waited for an opportunity, popped him one. He ran close to me at about 25 yards, so I swung my gun over, quickly shot again, dropped him right there. I was so freaking excited, I almost yelled, but then obviously there's other hunters around, didn't want to yell, so I quickly jumped down, called Bar up right away, said, hey Bar, I need help gutting this deer, I gotta get to work. So I started gutting it. He came, helped gut it with me, and I said, okay, Briar, this is up to you now, you drag it. So he went, dragged it back, I went to work. If any of you guys want to get one of these awesome European mounts done, you better contact our buddy, Josh Vitruba from JW Skullworks. He's out of the Luxembourg area. He's just an awesome guy, he's got great prices. He doesn't BS you or nothing. He gets the job done. And he does amazing work on it. Honestly, I will always be bringing my skulls to him. This is the first skull that I had done. And last year I got a buck too as well. And I also gave him that one to do, and that one turned out perfect as well. So if you guys ever need a European mount done, he'll do it. Just an awesome guy. So please go check him out. And make sure you guys go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram. Go check out our website, our cousinsoutdoors.com. It'd be greatly appreciated. We love you guys. And remember, when in doubt, jerk it out. See ya.
Listen.